last night in the place. I didn't like your face.
Okay, I'm coming to you live from the Industrial Arts Brewing Company right here in Beacon, New York. I got here a man who's been holding down the hardcore scene. He's a local promoter and the lead singer of the Sandwich Collective. His name is Dylan Ponsi, and he's my next featured guest today on King of the Pit. Let's go, baby.
I will dig it deep. I will cut these strings. I will burn the trees. I'll let everything be me. When will I be seen?
Alright guys, I got here today. I got Dylan Ponsi. He's a promoter and the lead singer of the Sandwich Collective. He's here tonight at the Industrial Arts Brewing Company, and he's promoting the burlesque show tonight that I'm checking out. Just happened to run into him, and we're going to do a fly-off interview right now. I'm going to speak to him about what he's been doing in the community in order to get the hardcore community, keeping it alive for us. And I'm really excited about meeting him today, and he's right here sitting next to me, so let's get going. So Dylan, what's been going on? I heard you've been in promotions for over 10 years right now.
I have been, yeah. I've been promoting for 13 years. I did take a small break, when the world was in a pretty crazy pandemic. But other than that, I've been keeping it going since I was like 17 years old.
You've been only doing like the hardcore scene, or?
No, I always, my home base is the hardcore scene for sure. But I like to do all sorts of music genres, and even tonight I'm doing something new where I was promoting a burlesque show. This one's actually different from other burlesque shows. This is still a live music burlesque show, so we're going to have a live band performing all night with all the other performers as well. But I work with the hardcore scene as well as all the other local music scenes that are here. So
being, compared to me, being so young, I was just wondering, how'd you get into the genre? What do you guys consider yourself, hardcore or?
We have a hard time nailing it down, but we've been calling ourselves alternative metal.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
First time I heard of that, but it's awesome. Also, how'd you get into that genre? With today's music, you don't hear any kind of heavy metal or anything, any of that stuff on the normal platforms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that it's kind of really the underworld nowadays. It's not even MTV where you had all the old heavy metal Headbangers Ball and stuff like that. And nowadays, there's really no avenue for the bands like that, except for King of the Pit going on right now. So, how'd you get into the genre of that heavy hardcore stuff you got?
So, really, I've been into metal since I was a child. My drummer that is in the Sandwich Collective with me, his name's Phil. Him and I have been best friends since we were little kids. And we both always wanted to be in a band. We both always really liked metal. We contributed that to both of our fathers, actually, both being into metal themselves. My dad used to be in a metal band, locally as well. And his dad also used to be in a metal band locally. And we kind of just grew up with metal in our lives. And we wanted to keep it going. And, I started out 17 years old in a progressive metal band.
Okay.
I was actually with the guys in Sinope, who you saw a couple weeks ago.
Yes, they were pretty awesome.
Those are actually half the members of my old band. And we did that for years. We played a lot of shows. We toured around. We did all the good stuff. And we ended up going our separate ways at one point. And now I am in with the Sandwich Collective guys. We've been keeping it going for a couple of years now, just trying to really make something here in the scene. And yeah, it's been with me since I was a kid, man. And I couldn't.
Oh man.
I could not be in a metal band. It's been a dream of mine since I was young.
Well, that's fantastic. It's been my dream too, Hey, let me ask you a question. Being a promoter and being in the bands and stuff like that, how do you separate the two, or how do you bring the two together? And what kind of message are you actually trying to deliver when you do a performance, or when you're playing, when you're doing your promotions? Is there anything special that you want to bring to the people when you're on stage, and how you want them to react, and how you want, when they go home at night, how do you want them to think about the Sandwich Collective or any of your promotions?
So, I have a similar message with both. As far as my promotions go, I am I've always been really big into keeping the local scene alive. Here at our neighboring town where we are, Poughkeepsie, we had a larger venue in Poughkeepsie for my entire childhood into adulthood. We had the Chance Theater, and you were able to have young bands, older bands, local bands play on shows with larger acts. You were able to mingle the two. You were able to have that, the ability to have the opportunity to grow in that way. And with the closing of the Chance Theater, we have found ourselves trying to keep the local scene here going with venues like Industrial Arts Brewing Company,
right.
venues like Reason and Ruckus. We're trying to keep all the local bands have a place that they can call home.
Right.
And it's sad to say that it's hard for bands to get out and perform nowadays because there's so few venues that are doing it.
Right.
But part of my message that I'm really pushing forward is trying to keep the venues alive.
Right.
A couple weeks ago, I did a festival at Reason and Ruckus, and it was a benefit festival to raise them money to keep them going just a little bit longer.
Right.
And even venues like this, Industrial Arts Brewing Company, it's hard. They're a little bit of a larger business. They are a brewing company, but they do the events here on the one side of their building, and it's hard for them to have this business structure be one that is viable, one
right.
that makes enough money to keep the bills paid.
Right. And what kind of challenges are you finding as you go through this process trying to save the scene for us?
The challenges that I have found is the biggest challenge is making sure that really people is getting new members to the scene. It's introducing the scene to new people. I want to get the next generation involved.
Yes.
Heavily, and in some places they are, in other places they're not. I'm trying to bring my message to everybody, not just my message, but my promotions, even all the promotions and shows that are outside of what I do. I want young people, old people, I want everybody to be able to come out and enjoy seeing live music,
right.
enjoy seeing people express themselves in this capacity. It's very hard to get to the new.
He's hitting it right on the point.
To get to the new younger audience, and it's also hard for venues to find sustainability with a younger audience because younger audiences now don't drink as much as
right.
As they used to, and most of these venues.
He's not promoting alcohol, but he's just letting you know
most of these venues are bars.
Yeah.
They are bars, and that's their business model.
Right.
But a lot of younger people, they don't drink alcohol like they used to, which in some ways that's great. I don't drink alcohol either.
Well, the X generation is covering that. If you go to the local bars, a lot of the older people there are still playing the old classic rocks.
Yes.
But in my time, it was all, when you go to a bar, it was all young people. And that was you don't see any grandpas over there. But nowadays, you don't see any young people in local bars. But how has social media, what's your opinion on how social media has affected that scene? Is it affecting in a positive way or a negative way?
It is a little bit of both. The social media is now the only way to get your message out there, that you're promoting a show, that your band is playing somewhere. It's the really only place you can do it where a wide variety of people can see it. Years ago, it used to be boots on the ground. You put up flyers.
Right.
You tell all your friends. Your friends tell all their friends. And, now it is done behind a computer screen, done behind your phone. And in a lot of ways, it's helpful. It absolutely is helpful, But the ways that it can be negative is, for instance, the algorithms don't always support showing this kind of material.
Right. Okay.
It actually has less to do with how much effort and work you're putting in than it does, what the algorithm says is what you're going to see that day.
Okay. Do you find it I was thinking about it this way. Because I was asked that same question, and it told me to pose that question to see, as a promoter and being in a band. And I was thinking of it another aspect also. I was thinking that in social media or with the computer generation, this technology and all the entertainment, I think it's like, why go out? So like in my day, probably in your day too, when you want to go out to talk to people, you can just you have to leave your house, physically go outside and have a good time. But nowadays, you're just entertained at home. So a lot of kids, I don't see, I see maybe that's the negative about social media. That's definitely the positive, what you were saying. It's an outlet for us to be reached, where they can express themselves. But the most important thing is to get the kids out there and support the community and do exactly what you were saying.
That is a very, very good point, and I agree with that. And it has started to shape the model of what do people who are performing music, like what do they have to do to get an audience to come to their events. Right. And a lot of it is shaping and doing different things. First off, you can't have a mosh pit at home.
Yeah, that's right. Mom's gonna kill you.
You can't do it. But aside from that, bands are changing the way that they're approaching their audiences. I know a lot of bands will say, hey, we have merch that you can only pick up at our show.
Right.
We have specialized, whether it's t-shirts, vinyls, you can only pick that up if you come see us live.
Right,
You can't get it online. You can't find it that way. A lot of times, bands will find different ways to let people know that they are going to be bringing some sort of surprise to their show. So say that, for instance, like not that long ago, a friend of mine did a show, and he got somebody else who was very popular in the scene to come perform a song with them on stage.
Okay.
And they marketed it that way, that they were like, hey, there's going to be a surprise at this show. You're not going to want to miss out set. And a lot of it's about trying to find these new avenues to convince people and say, hey, come see our live shows. And if you come see our live shows, maybe you'll want to come back and see another one.
Right.
Maybe you want to go see some of our other partner bands, or you want to go see some of the other local acts that we have going on in the community. Because all these people are really pouring their heart and soul into making something that they can love and nurture, but also something they can express to you and show you. They're making art, and without artists making all this, putting in all this hard work, there would be no, let's say, larger acts. There wouldn't be those, Taylor Swifts and Beyoncés of the world without starting from the beginning. Most of these acts started out playing guitar at their local bar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Paying the dues.
And most of the acts had to pay their dues. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. This is where it all begins, and also for a lot of us where it ends. And for most people, that's fine.
Right.
But we don't want to lose what we have here. We don't want to lose it.
Right. For guys like him and I, we're pretty much in it for life. We've enjoyed this lifestyle. The music has been a part of us since early childhood, and this guy's been a phenomenal, assistance to the community, working with the kids and trying to get everybody into the shows, because it's important for the kids to get out there,
Absolutely.
To have an outlet. Like 2 weeks ago when I seen you at the Rutgers bar in Poughkeepsie. It was really nice to see actually, the community again, the hardcore community where the kids got to run around and express themselves. So it was really cool. I really had a good time doing this stuff.
It was an important day for our community. People really showed out in force to really like scream at the top of their lungs, and they don't want to lose our local music venue, our only venue that we have currently in Poughkeepsie.
And it's a good one too.
It's
amazing. That's a great
venue.
spot.
They are working so hard every day just to keep the lights on and to keep us performing in their space.
Maybe we're going to put them on the. I know we had them on it, but we never featured them. So maybe we'll feature them on one of our King of the Pits episodes with Dylan right here. Maybe the next time his band plays. All right, guys. Dylan's going to end the show with a little bit of promo for himself.
Dylan at Ponsi Productions. That's my socials first and foremost. Second of all, my next event is going to be here again at Industrial Arts, March 21st. That's going to be me with the Sad Witch Collective, Avari, Weeping Angel, and No More Sun. It's one hell of a lineup. Really, if you guys want to be part of a great metal show, see some great bands, you're going to want to be in Industrial Arts. Beacon, March 21st. Also, we're playing a show, Snappers, in Kingston with DCPC. DCPC is a great promoter as well. You want to check out his stuff. And tonight, we have Valentine's Day live band burlesque, starring AIM the band. Amazing performers, amazing people, and we're gonna have a great night tonight. And thank you.
You got it, my man. Thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed the content, this was a spontaneous interview tonight. Sorry about the microphone and the sound pieces, but if you want to be your band featured on the next King of the Pit, just hit me up. And until next time, let's go, baby.